Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you are doing well. We are back with another 8 p.m. live. We have got Mr. Phil in the building, so good evening, Phil.
Hi Dan, how are you? Nice seeing you on Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice to see you again. Obviously, I do love our chats on a Sunday.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm doing well. I mean, it was great to kick off the season with 3 points, 3 goals. Put that some of them punters down that wrote us off and everything. But yeah, I mean, just great to be back. I'm back to winning ways like we normally do.
yeah. I mean, with it beforehand, we hadn't won a opening game since 2017. So, and I think with looking at the squad and the change of, because I said even pre-season they were changing the style of football. What a first half!
And all 3 goals were cracking goals as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think looking at it, I think McAtee and Hutchison looking at this from the stands would have been wow. I mean, Morgan, I'll give a big shout out to Morgan Gibbs White and Elliot
Definitely.
and Sangari. Them 3, wow, they was class. That swivel and that crossing for Endo to that header. Wow, it was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, it was unreal that all the goals and especially them in midfield. They just ran the show and it just made things a lot more easy for us. I know Brentford got a bit of a blunt attack, but they couldn't even get near a goal. That's how good we were.
I mean, that pass, I think we've seen the pass of the season probably from Elliot Anderson, where that pass and Wood just, it was absolutely a crack, cut straight through. What a pass that was. And I think that he is going to be, he's got to be forcing his way into England squad
quite easily. And I think if we're up there again this season, I can see a lot more call-ups for most of our players, even though we have got internationals in the squad anyway, but I think a lot of them will be up there anyway regarding the internationals and even forcing their ways to starting more and getting more minutes like this, right?
Yeah. Dan, can I know I want to be just 1 minute because I might have an emergency which I need to deal with.
Yeah, I'll drop you out then.
Yeah, okay. I'll be back in 2 secs. Yeah, okay.
Phil will be back, guys. Obviously, a lot going on regarding Forest. I know we'll be talking about transfers. We want to get Phil's thoughts on the games and all that, especially the game against Brentford, and just getting his thoughts on things because obviously it was a great day. Obviously, get your likes on the videos on whatever platform you are watching this on, YouTube, X, or Facebook. Obviously, do the usual things because I know you guys are brilliant. We have got over 100 people watching this live now, which is absolutely quality. As per usual, the love for the love is so good. Obviously, I'm saying obviously again, if you are jumping onto us for a new person, do the usual, subscribe to the channel and do the usual things with guarding things. But obviously, it will be great to say at least what you guys think to it all. How many Robert S in the chat already? Thank you for your comment. How many signings do you think we made? Me personally, I think things that Luiz said. Obviously, we have to Matty Cashwell after that right back from Seville as well. So that's 2 more added on to Luiz. So that for me after the Luiz deal, I think 2 more players, 2 fullbacks, and a goalkeeper. That's me personally. I think, yeah, fair enough that do we need a goalkeeper? Yeah, I think we will. Just not because I don't trust. I mean, I think we've got 2 good goalkeepers in already, but I think it'd be good to have that bit more squad depth in there, and I think that it'd be good to make sure that we do have that competition, especially with them. And I think them 2 fullbacks that we've been linked with, one from Safura, one from and Matty Cash, are quite good. I mean, I've just been talking about what Robert said about how many signings do you think we made. Obviously, I've just been saying the 2 we've been linked with and what we've been talking about before came here. I mean, how many do you think we will need to make?
Well, I think because you're in 4 competitions and they're going to be tough, you've got to have a strong squad. So I think we need a couple of defenders, because if Nico Williams or Oleana gets injured, we are struggling there. I can see us getting another goalkeeper. In the centre backs, we could find cover, but I don't think in the Premier League you could play a centre back as a left back and a centre back as a right back, because it just, the dynamics of the team just goes out the window. So I think probably I still think we'll probably get about 3 or 4. I think you know, looking at there, and I think with it we're a really good project to come to. I mean, we're getting, you know, on Sunday the bench.
Ooh, that's me. So, so Phil,
No worries. I think on the bench you could see that was quite centre defender heavy, and we really did not have a lot of options on changing if we needed to. And it's really good that we are looking a really strong squad. You know, you look at it in that, you know, like Brian Clough used to say, if you've got a really good, strong spine of your team, you can spread out on the wings, and it gives you a really good opportunity to, and also, like, the amount of games what we're going to play, you can't expect Elliot Anderson, you can't expect Morgan Gibbs White, and same with Sangari to play all games. Plus, also, what you got to think about is that it's African nations as well. So we're going to lose some of the African players. So that's Oleana gone into Taiwo if he's still with us, Sangari. So that's 3 players gone at a period of time when, you know, we need them kind of players. You know, so I don't think we're finished yet. I think with it, since we've been like put in because of what Crystal Palace and Parish mistakes are and did, you can see the transfer window coming. And I think Makinakis has been determined to strengthen this window, because a few weeks ago everyone was thinking it's the end of the world. Morgan leaving, Alanga going. So I feel that now we're in a very strong place. And like I say, on Sunday, I mean, cracking game. And I don't think they would have scored unless they got that penalty. I think they could have played about another week and they still wouldn't have scored.
Yes, I thought that. Yeah. I didn't think they was going to score, to be fair. And like I said, it was really, really poor by Sandro to have his hands up. But, I mean, what made me laugh, and I'll say this on air, and I've said it quite a lot this week on other channels and that why they checked it, because we all knew it was a penalty.
Yeah.
But why did they check it?
Yeah, I think with it, I mean, there's 2 penalties in that game. And if you have a look at the penalty shout what we got and we didn't get, and then also have a look at the penalty what Luiz got for against Everton, very similar situation. And that's the problem, I think, with VAR. I think in the second half, Dan, I don't know about you, but I think we dropped it because we didn't. We went back in first gear. We didn't need to. The game was won, and I think it was pretty good team management. You know, we did the business. Yes, save some energy, kind of thing. And you know, like I say, penalty. It was penalty. We're still work in progress. I think Brentford had some chances what other teams might have done, but it shows the quality of Matt Sells where a couple of us really says when he's not doing a lot. So, but I think the atmosphere around the ground, the atmosphere on the pitch, you won't think that Dan Android, that was his first professional game. I think he offers us more than what Alanga did in certain. I think when that starts gelling a bit more, I think he's going to be an absolutely cracking. And that header, that was a cracking header.
Yeah, it really good, and it will work by Gibbs White as well. I mean, even Crypto, hope you're well. Sean saying how automatic cash could return, and hello to Terence as well. But yeah, I completely agree with that. What he said about and always. I mean, there were a couple of fans behind me to the left, sort of slating and Doria just before he scored. And you know what? After when he scored it, it sort of went quiet. Like,
yeah.
And I was just there like, slash something else off the match scoring it.
yeah. I mean, with it's his first game, and you're playing in the atmosphere of City Ground, which is always noisy and everything, and you know, he a couple of things there. One, he wasn't the first signing of, you know, in pre-season, so players were going to take time to gel. And I mean, there were some really good positions where he came in position when Morgan had it on the, you know, on the byline near the goal, and he's good. You know, look at his space, look at his movement, and I think he would be a really good asset. Yes, he may not be as fast as Langer, but we're having a lot more ball. I think in the first half we must have had about 66% of the ball. You know, highest percentage, you know, and we're transitioning at our style of play. And I think that's why you're going to get the best out of Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gizwai. And then again, we've got three other people who will come in there. Douglas Luiz, where does he fit in? You know, Sangari played well. And then you've got McAtee, you've got Hutchinson. So you've got a really good, and then obviously our new striker, what we've got. So there's a lot of strength in depth and it gives Nuno, and the game now isn't the first 11, it's a squad. And that's important because, you know, Chris Wood cannot play every single game this season. Impossible. You know, and because he's an international as well, he'll be going over where New Zealand play. So I think it's been really, really good that the strengthening squad, you know, you see a massive thing now. Edu's there. Players who've gone out as well, who's gone. I don't think there's realistically. If I'd rather Langer go than Morgan or Murillo or Milenkovic, you know. I hope that soon we get news that Callum Hudson and Doyle signed a new contract. I think that's something. I think we did well to keep Eliana, Williams signing new contracts, and that's only positive. So, as a team, we are gonna. I think we're gonna win a lot more games than what people realise, and I think we're gonna be up there challenging. But again, you need that squad, and I'm really happy with the players what we've got and the strength of team what we've got.
Yeah, definitely. I know we're going to jump on transfers anyway, but yeah, I completely agree. I mean, these signings we have brought in already, especially this weekend, that quality to the squad that we needed. and that going into the Palace game, and then we still got the West Ham game, and obviously the Arsenal game after that. So I think we are going to have really, really good quality, more than enough against Arsenal than we already got. I mean, I know Douglas Luiz is looking like he's going to be quite close. Well,
I think it's done. I think we're going to get something from Nottingham Forest, and the deal is a fantastic deal for us. It helps Juventus out with PSR on there. It helps them out. It's quite a deal like Chris Wood was. We play so many games and then it's a guaranteed buy. And if we get him for like £25 million, what a cracking player he'll be.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the play for Enquiries to go. I think with it, we're going to need a squad, and that includes like Ryan Yates and the main guess where he gets back fit. So, and I think with it, if you want to go far in Europe, there's a lot of travelling, and in like soon it be like a Thursday and then a Sunday game. You've got to have that squad, and I'm sure you might find some players not in the European squad who might be in the league, vice versa. But I think it's important, and I think with it, you can tell in the 4 years what we've come down, we're getting stronger and stronger, and key off the field decisions.
Yeah, it seemed to be like that since Ross Wilson been in. I noticed as well, because I know Man Natis learned about the Premier League over this last few years.
Yeah,
obviously, but Eddie Earney, who's very well known, he won big clubs in Premier League with Arsenal. Ross Wilson, he won Rangers. I know there's that thing about Scottish football and that we all know that, but he's been around European football with Rangers.
Yeah,
and so I feel like that mixture of them three, I think it will only make Forest grow. And obviously Nuno's been one with Wolves. So I think everything, we just chucked everything into a potion that Harry Potter would do, and just expect, and it's just working.
I think with Nuno, there's a couple of things. One, last season, he played to our strength. We didn't have the players or the squad in depth to play what he did in Wolves. And you can see now the transition to having the ball more, quick possession. We was quite on the front foot, as in pressurising. And yes, and you can see the change in football. But one thing what that will do for is massively, when we are playing the likes of Man City, Liverpool and stuff, we've also got that ability to go back to, you come on to us and we're counter-attack, because we've used to that last season. And I think it's really a massive key importance here is, I think towards the end of last season, we was getting found out. We didn't have the squad in depth for number one. And you could see the players getting tired, I think, and we didn't really have much on the bench. If that was your first 11, you really, you take one or two players off. But it's progression, Players who are still in that squad, either with players are going to improve more. I mean, when you think about it, we could have the England first team midfield in time, with Morgan, Elliot Anderson, McAtee, Hutchinson, and I give a thing up, because some people don't notice what workload what Elliot Anderson does. When he's there, he's telling players, pass it that way, pass it. He's got a real old head on his shoulders for being such a young man. And what a box-to-box player he's getting. But he breaks some stuff, but he doesn't foul very much.
No.
He's not, and learning from, like even with like Ryan Yates coming on, he's getting better because he's learning from better players. And if he wants, like any of the players, like I think there'll be a couple more go. I can see why Carlos Miguel's gone. Stamenic has gone to Swansea. You know, there's not. I don't think that there's a player, and I've been following Forest for a long time, that I'm really disappointed that's gone this year.
Nah, I think all the signings that has gone, I think they needed to. Obviously, we still got Bowler and Dennis at the minute.
Yeah.
I think I mean, Forest are doing wonders to get rid of the players that we needed to.
Yeah.
Not saying that all of them should have gone. I mean, Danny Lowe, I think injuries sort of cost him.
He did. Yeah.
Elanga sort of get to a good extent now.
But when you think of Elanga, that money, then we've got a Swiss international who's more skillful, more creative, you know, as in player. Plus, also with that money, you've also managed to get, in many ways, Hutchinson. So you've got you up in the level of the players. I mean, and to be honest, last year sometimes Elanga, you know, he was dropped because he was not effective, but you know, he was a good player for us. You know what I mean? But I think sometimes now the players what we've replaced him with give us different options.
Yeah.
Different opportunities, more strength in depth. You know, and also one thing what I thought, when you bring in that kind of player in, if you've got that shirt and you're on that pitch, you can't be lazy. You can't. Well, I'm not bothered because I'm undroppable as such. They've got to perform because you know they'll be banging away to get that shirt.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and with it now, like I say, football's changed from 20, 30 years ago. Now it's a squad team. And one thing with it, when you have a look at our squad and players on the bench, you know fine well, if Morgan's playing and he's done 60 minutes, you know that McAtee could come in there and it wouldn't drop our levels. You know that if Sangari's playing, Douglas Luiz can come in and vice versa. Douglas Luiz is playing, right? And then he comes off, you know that Sangari, I mean, you know, now his fitness, we're showing the best of him. You know, and unfortunately, some players take a little bit of time to settle in. You know, and you know, and I would say this as well, Dan. One thing with Europe as well, you've got our homegrown players. So when you have a look at the players coming in, you've got a homegrown tax as such. So you said when you have a look at that, we're ticking all the boxes. You know, but again, you know, looking at transfers, personally, one goalkeeper, and even if it's youngish goalkeeper wanting to learn from Matt Sells, as well, I think you've got a good coach in there in Wayne Hennessy. I think he's been around the block, he's been international as well. So, you know, it was good to keep him. I don't coach him, but like I say, left back, right back would be perfect. And then that would probably be the best transfer window we've ever had for Nottingham Forest since I can remember signing Trevor Francis. And that's going back to 1979.
Yeah. Yeah, completely. It's been good, and I mean, I know we've signed quite a few of these homegrown players, and that I know that is quite nice to see. And I completely agree. I mean, I know we're getting in bad signs things. I've gone touch up on one, and I don't know how you feel about that one. Anyway, but I completely agree with the three that we have brought in. At the minute, and obviously, I know Lewis is saying Ethan and Lou. Nathan's saying that he's happy about Hutchinson. I think a lot of us are.
Yeah.
This one from Dixie, I mean, I don't know. That big for trying to talk for, I mean, I don't get the rudeness in that because if a lot of you do watch me, I'm dyspraxic. Does affect my speech and all that. So I don't get why I'm trying to defend myself from that sort of comment. But
French striker. That's what I think what he means. I mean, with it gives us options.
Yeah.
All the striking force gives us options.
Yeah.
If we get another striker, then I think that'll be the end of the road for Tyro.
Yeah, I do.
But I still think the club like Tyro. You know, he's a bit like, you know, and, you know, in the League Cup, in the FA Cup or whatever, it might be effective.
Yeah.
You know.
And
So,
I think the club is trying to make sure he gets back to full fitness, especially after what happened last season with that injury.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do like him. And like people, for me, Tyro has scored some vital goals for Nottingham Forest. And if it wasn't for Tyro in certain seasons, we would not be in the Premier League and we would not be in the position where we are now. And the problem is, if you say, for instance, Tyro goes, it's going to be really difficult to get another striker in, happy to be that third choice striker. And that money wise, I mean, you know that some of the transfer fees now are unbelievable. So when you have a look at some of the fees, what people are wanting, is it better the devil you keep him than you know? And I think when you look at it that way, maybe that might be the answer.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because you know when we start in Europe, I was told that our first game was going to be Wednesday the 24th at home in September. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, I think it's the first two Thursdays from what I remember, right?
No, it's no. In the first ones, it's the Tuesday and Wednesday for the first round because there's a lot of games to be played, and then it goes to the alternate Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, two players that we have been linked with, especially, I think both of them will have that Europa League experience that we do need, and yeah, I mean, I think there will be alternatives, like I said, and I think there will be a lot of games, especially League Cup, be coming into that, and obviously we might have to add league game here and there. Obviously, don't forget, I mean, we're coming into the League Cup some point in September.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be the last week before. Well, it'd be the week before the Europa League, I think. Or week after.
Yeah.
Two players that have been linked. One of them will be known to us very well before he left us. That is Matty Cash. Which I think, I don't know how you guys feel about this. So get your comments coming in. I know there was one person commented on it, and the other one that we have been linked with, it's the fullback from Seville. Yeah, I mean, how are you feeling about them two?
Well, with Matty Cash, depending, I mean, Villa, I've got to sort out the finances because they are close to breaking the PSR rules. So I think on that one, it'd be good to come back, but he'd have to understand that he won't be first choice because he's not going to replace Olena. The Spanish lad, he's 23, and it gives us an option. We're looking at options. You know what I mean, and I think that's important. But that is one thing what we do need. I mean, I'd like to see Matty Cash come back, but it gives us an option.
Yeah, and he can play right wing as well. Obviously,
yeah, he can.
And that's the thing. I know a lot of fans will think, "Oh, it's a right back," but when he first started out for us, it was a centre midfielder, and he went from centre midfield to right back, right wing to right back. Yeah. So, I mean,
and that was because of injury. We didn't have anyone to play there, so we just dropped him back, and then he just made it himself. So, I think if any player looking at our project, I think we're probably one of the most exciting projects in the Premier League. I do, because when you have a look at the quality of the players, I mean, big thing as well. I want to give a big shout out. Last year, like the PFA had Team of the Year, we had two players in there, Matt Sells and Chris Ford. Now, you can honestly, when you're up against like the Liverpools and all that, Chelsea's and all that, for us to have two players and two vital, important players there, Maxwell's in a goalkeeper and also a striker, you know, more so than Haaland. Chris Wood, player of the year, you know, team of the year kind of thing, in that thing, more so than Haaland or people like that. And I think with it, that just shows how well we've done that as a team. I think you will get that gelness. You can tell that by how they're scoring the goal. You would not think Morgan had any issues about playing with us because his performance is unbelievable. As in the team, and I just think that we're going to be a real good, we're all a good team. You know, yes, we're not going to win every game, but no one does. But I think we're, like you were saying, Dan, where everyone was saying, well, poor PCs and boys aren't going to do this, aren't going to do that. And yeah, it was Brentford, but Brentford still got a good, been a good side. So, you know, when you have a look at it that way, absolutely cracking. And we're just getting more players to add to that jigsaw to make us a real strong side. You know?
Yeah, we are.
And I think with it, I think we should be not looking down, because some people are like, oh yeah, you might get relegation battle. I never thought that. I think that we can challenge and probably even do better. You know, if we can finish 6th or above, that'd be brilliant. But I think this year's target would be go long in Europa League, go long, you know, have a really good, successful Premier League. And I think that they'd be aiming to get in the top 4 or be that team. Because I'd rather be in our position than Newcastle's.
Yeah.
Put it bluntly. And Villa's, you know. And I know it's early on in the season, but, you know, I think we're getting stronger, and I think we've got more unity at our club. I mean, I watched Liverpool and Bournemouth, and I thought the defence looked dodgy, to be honest. They didn't look brilliant. We're building our nucleus on that defence, you know, where Willow and Milenkovic. And, you know, I just think that, you know, for ourselves and being at the City ground as well, teams will not like coming to it because the atmosphere at our ground, you know, so it's all positive.
It really is. If I'm being honest, yeah, I can't agree more. I mean, Craig said, "Hard and you good, yeah, you." But that noise in the background, unless if you can hear airplanes or trams, it's probably that. But I don't live that far from the tram side. But yeah, I completely agree. Fair shot on that one. I'm good, Craig. I hope you're well. I wouldn't want cash back unless they're paying us. And then I'm saying, hi, Danny boy. Hey, hope you're well. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you that subject will be interesting, to say at least this season, especially if we want to go far in the competitions and challenging for that top 4. I mean, we're quite lucky in a good way to start with, and obviously we got Arsenal after when we come back. But I mean, yeah, going off what you're saying, I can't agree anymore.
I think with it, I think it's for ourselves, like Nuno is very level-headed, you know, and it'd be like one game at a time. And, you know, when you have a look at it, Palace are going to be tricky because they'd be up for it, but I think we are. You know, well, we don't take any opponent for granted. I think there's a lot of work what we do behind it, you know, and I you know, like I say, I think it's just really important that we carry on and just go forward. And with the strength and depth, Dan, it's just going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. Counting that 8 people watching live, us live on all the platforms, it's unreal. The support on the thing, 297, but hit that button if whatever platform you are watching this on, Facebook, YouTube, or X, it's unbelievable. So do hit that button, and if you are new, do follow us, follow the socials for TFTV. Look for the love, but I mean, yeah, I completely agree. Like, with it, going to be a really good thing. I mean, oh, what the question? I forgot the question I was going to ask you, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting time, and you know what? I said it on Sunday. Uh, this was like after the game. I was talking to someone in South Bank about it, and I said even the goals on Sunday. I know you talked up earlier about Anderson's, but even Chris Ward's, like that ball came in, and nobody could race it behind that goal and that. You probably had a better view than me. Can't sit a bit further down, but when Chris Wood hit it, I thought that probably just either towed it or it just hit it and just hope it went in. But when you rewatch it from the country in main stand or wherever it is recorded, it's actually a really good goal, and
both
it's
of them
really
are.
good technique. I mean, both of them are good goals for really good reasons. But I felt like how he took that first goal was just
cracking, wasn't it?
Chris Wood does Chris Wood things.
I was saying to somebody, Dan, that if he were like 5 years younger, he'd be £80 million player, wouldn't it?
Easy.
Do you know what I mean? It's only because he's 33 in the age. But
yeah, and you wouldn't guess he's 33 to say.
No, not at all.
And if there was that stat going around since Sunday, since Nuno's been in, it's been top 3 anyway in terms of like goal scorers behind Salah and Haaland. But he actually gone joint top with Salah now for scoring the most goals at non-penalties. That's 30, and I mean I know when he first came in. I know everyone's entitled to their opinions, so I'll say that now. But I know it was written off quite a bit because of his age, what he could bring, and that. But you know what? It's been a revelation since Nuno's came in. I mean,
we're playing to his strengths. That's the difference.
I was just about to say that. You nailed it on the coffin.
Yeah, you know, previously before, just because he's 6'3", 6'4", sometimes not. You know, yes, he's good with head, but smaller players have got more leap to go. So now, and he's faster than what people think because that through ball. I mean, he motored to get on that Anderson pass.
Yeah.
And what I like about him, and I've always said, and I said, like when people were slating him, give it to his chest, give it to his feet, because he can use both feet.
Yeah.
You know, and and that goal was like the one what he scored at Newcastle way a few years ago.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. Yeah, it was similar to that third goal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But,
yeah. And I know Lewis totally agrees with that completely. But yeah, I mean, I said it. I've been saying it. He's ball to feet, ball to chest. He can't do anything, but he's a proper traditional old-fashioned number 9.
Yeah.
Put the ball into the box. You know, 80%, 90% time he will score. We all know that he has had his misses, but I mean, you know that 90%. You know that's going into that back of the net, and I mean, there's not many. Yeah, you've got your Haalands and all that. Don't get me wrong. But when you still have an old-fashioned number 9 from like 20, 30, 40 years ago, that can still do that. It does now. It's absolutely lethal, and it's nice to still have that old generational striker that you don't really see nowadays.
The priceless, you know, and you know, with it, I mean, 2 different goals, 2 class goals, and you know, he played absolutely amazing. One thing as well, you know, where you're talking about records, Morgan's on the same assists as Ian Wone. And Ian Wone was a good player. You know, I've seen him play many times, won't he? And, you know, he's going to be the most assist player at Nottingham Forest for a long time because of the amount of contract what he's got.
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, and you can see why people want him. Who wouldn't? And I don't think McAtee is his replacement.
Yeah.
You know.
And Andrew's agreed with us as well, 100%. Obviously, don't go anything like you said, be for the EL. And like Bill the Messenger said, and yeah, like, I mean, I totally agree with that, especially when you got youngsters that we have got. I know he's on sat on loan and Dale Taylor left, but when you got other players coming through, and then we got like Bar Tower's been around for a while now, but when you have got the other like Ardor, like the new life from Stadbren, so when you got youngsters in the academy, like his experience of being around the top 2 leagues, Chris Wood's experience will be completely vital, and I agree with this message 1,000%, because I think their experience with everything, and especially with someone like Ardor, who's new to English football, European football, it will be vital completely.
I think with Woody, he's really humble. He's very humble as a player. Do you know what I mean? You can tell that. And I think with it, sometimes you need a bit of experience in the squad. We're still fairly a young squad. You know, if you probably got 3 players, you know, more experience. You'd have Matt Sells, Milenkovic, and Chris Wood. You know, really the most experienced players. But with Chris Wood, he's so calm. He's a calm influence in the team. And I think with it, you could see why they dropped Jesus and put Morgan there, because they tried different formation, different styles in pre-season. And Morgan and Chris Wood have got that understanding.
Yeah, and I did think that myself, to be fair. That's why we probably hadn't seen Ardor so much by that last 10 minutes, because, like you said, they've got that bit more understanding. Obviously, they played together 2 full seasons.
Yeah, and with it, the new players coming in, they've got to learn the style, the pace. I think Jesus could also play on the wing, so you know, we've got that flexibility. You know, so it'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting to see. But also now, Nuno's got an option of changing who we're playing against, what style striker is better.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I think we think now footballers have got that mentality that, you know, it's a squad team. So I don't think you would get, if Chris Wood was on the bench for a game, I don't think he'd be kicking his dummy out or setting him to go on strike because it's not playing. Do you know what I mean? No, Keenan, my Wi-Fi is all
right. Keenan, good old Keenan. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you on what you're saying, mate, because I think it was like that with Rain Energy. I mean, when you've seen that with the whole in pre-season, Matt's also wanted to sit next to Rain Energy even though he was his boss. So, and we all knew how much of influence he had in there. So I completely agree with you that the experience in that will be funny. But yeah, shout out to Keenan.
Yeah, sort out my lad.
But yeah, do you want to tell everyone where they can find you?
Probably on Facebook mostly. So my name's on Facebook, Philip Roy Neil Chambers. So That's what I tend to be. So, or the famous City Ground.
Definitely. I mean, if any of you guys do sit in Low Bridgeford, I know you might see me talking to Phil quite a lot if you walk up the steps as well. Normally, you see each other in Low Bridgeford anyway.
Yeah.
I know Palace will be a tough test. I will agree with that. And obviously, Keenan said he'll get all his ball knowledge from me. He don't know anything about these players. That is a statement. That is.
It is. Well, you know what? He needs to come on, and because he would be good because my lad is really knowledgeable, and he should come on and say his piece.
But I wouldn't want to get into a middle of the debate. But I definitely will have to do a show with these two to really beat that. You is the most knowledgeable person. That that just gave me a really good idea.
Yeah. Need to get him on. Come on, Keenan.
Thank you for coming on. As per
You're
usual,
welcome, mate. Anytime, buddy.
I had to end that on that comment because I thought that is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, if you do like the content, guys, do hit the like button. If you like this tonight's finale, do hit that like. If you know, subscribe and get us to 4K on YouTube if you can. Pardon me, I'm gonna hiccup again. But obviously, if you guys do enjoy the content, thank you for watching it up to 334 live, which is brilliant. I'd like to say thank you for watching. And goodbye.